If you ever watched Cartoon Network or have an interest in lost media, then chances are you've probably heard of a Kittv Bobo Show. It's a cartoon pilot that was made in 2001 for Cartoon Network's Big Pick competition. Created by Meaghan Dunn and Kevin Callaher, it was produced by Cartoon Network Studios. The pilot episode, titled Cell Phones, centers around Kittv Bobo trying to make his friends jealous showing off a new cell phone. His friends aren't impressed, but Kittv Bobo doesn't seem to realize this. The cell phone ends up being more of a bad thing than a good thing, like when it starts ringing during a movie. The next day, Kitty is riding his bike and makes a phone call to Maggie. She is busy, so he calls Paw Dog, and he doesn't have time either. While still riding his bike, Kittv Bobo decides to text Monkey Carl, and while doing this, he crashes his bike and his cell phone breaks in the process. Kittv Bobo runs to the diner to tell everyone what just happened. After he walks through the door, he realizes that his friends and everyone around him now have cell phones. Kittv Bobo screams at this realization as the screen zooms out, showing everyone on their phone. This pilot is great, and Cartoon Network fans really enjoyed it. It did receive a lot of votes for the Big Pick competition, but came in second place, losing out to Kids Next Door. Kids Next Door is an amazing cartoon, and it's understandable why it brought in more votes. However, I believe that a Kittv Bobo Show is a great concept and could have been a mainstay on Cartoon Network. It turns out that Cartoon Network was interested in the show and ordered a second episode to be made. We never got to see this second episode and were left in the dark on what happened to Kittv Bobo. Well, that all changes today. I reached out to Meaghan Dunn on Twitter and she responded. We talked about the show and a lot of other things like her memories of working on other Cartoon Network shows. Meg offered to show the second episode in my video and I was thrilled. After some more talking, we came up with the idea of her explaining the canceled episode while I edited in each section using the storyboard. Throughout this short time of putting together the video, we have become great friends and she is an awesome person.
I'm Meaghan Dunn, and I'm the creator of a Kittv Bobo Show. The pilot episode Cell Phones aired on Cartoon Network in 2001. It premiered as part of a marathon called Big Pick, which was a competition where 10 original pilots aired, and then viewers could call in, cast their vote for their favorite show, which would then be made into a TV series. Codename Kids Next Door won, and Bobo came in second, unfortunately. Cartoon Network did greenlight a second episode to be written, and it got as far as the second storyboard. So the network decided to cancel the episode because they felt it was too abstract and artsy for the demographic at the time. So it's been over 20 years now, and I somehow still have the storyboard, just stored in a bag that was held together with a binder clip. And I didn't really know what to do with it all these years, but I didn't want to throw it away. I don't do a lot on social media, and so for a while I wasn't really even aware that anyone was still watching it or talking about Kittv Bobo online. Although I had noticed over the years from friends sending me links of people posting a Kittv Bobo Show online, and I was really surprised to see that, and that people were still making videos. Still, even like a couple months ago, there was another video about Kittv Bobo. So it's pretty cool that people are still into it. I have some people somehow finding me online and even messaging me about the show and asking questions. So that's pretty cool. I've had multiple fans of the show reach out and ask what happened to the show, especially the second episode. And so I don't normally talk about it that much. But after the pilot, a Kittv Bobo Show aired, I got divorced, which was right after we had our daughter back in 2003. So right after I left LA and we moved back to the East Coast to be closer to family. My daughter is now almost 18, and next year she wants to go to college to study animation in LA. I have no idea where she got that crazy idea from. So here is the second episode of a Kittv Bobo Show called Cribs. So we see Kittv Bobo from the exterior eating popcorn, watching TV, and we cut to the TV show and we see a squirrel rapper talking about his crib, his home, and bragging about all the wonderful rooms and features. His vending machine, his jacuzzi, his pool table, his garage, his security system. And then we have Mr. Bobo getting in front of the television, blocking Bobo's view, telling him he needs to make something of himself and get out there. He knows, he believes in him, he can do it, but then he shoves him out the door. And so then Bobo's off looking for a place to stay and ends up at Poochie's Diner, where he ends up meeting up with Monkey Carl, Paul Dog, and Maggie again. So they're hanging out, and then they see Bobo strolling in. He's whining about being kicked out again, and nobody wants to take Bobo, so Monkey Carl gets suckered into it. So they end up back at Monkey's place, where Bobo is being Bobo and skeptical as to what this place is going to look like. He's never been to Carl's place before, and he thinks it's kind of a sketchy area, and he's in this loft. So it's soon revealed that Monkey actually has this amazingly huge loft with a gorgeous view. It's wintertime, the snow's falling, and Monkey's being a great host, showing Bobo his home, sharing his food and drink, even though Bobo is unfamiliar with the ways of monkey food and drink and the Norwegian monkey language. But then he is happy to see that at least Carl has a TV with a fancy remote. So then Bobo starts fiddling around with the remote control. As usual, he starts to wreak havoc, and Monkey's head catches on fire. He runs outside and he's locked out. So then we cut back to the two of them hanging out. Bobo apologizes for all that mishap, and he ends up going to bed. But then, actually before he goes to bed, we have Carl excusing himself to go change the record. So then Bobo's really excited. He's like, what? You have a record player? So then he goes and follows him, but Monkey makes it clear he is not to touch his records or do any DJ tricks on his turntable. So then Bobo goes to bed. So then we see different shots of the exterior in the city at night, and we see Bobo changing into various positions, very uncomfortable in this weird shaped bed and the air mattress at Monkey's place. And we hear his moaning all night. It wakes Carl up, and he's such a good host. Of course, he feels bad. So the very next day, we see that Bobo and Carl, of course, have slept in the same bed together. Carl doesn't look too happy because of Kitty's purring that kept him awake. And then we see that Bobo has gotten a lot of furniture and items delivered at Monkey's expense. And he's shooting video showing his own crib episode in his own obnoxious style, even though it's not even his own place. It's Monkey's, of course. And yeah, so then Paul is there with Maggie. Monkey is explaining to Paul he was trying to be nice and be a good host for Bobo, but he's complaining that he only wants to scratch his records. Then the door rings, and they see on the security camera that Graffiti is actually at the door visiting, and Monkey gets pretty excited. And he says that he's evidently there with a special record that he had ordered. So Monkey's pretty happy. Graffiti comes up with his friend Albert. So they have their record exchange. Graffiti confirms that Monkey made the deposit, and they describe what it is. Bobo's listening in and very excited and managed to intercept the record. And all of a sudden, Carl hears scratching. They run up, and they can see there's clearly some scratching going on, and Monkey grabs the record and inspects it and notices a giant scratch So he gets really upset and he goes basically ape shit and kicks everybody out. So then you see a shot of everybody in the freight elevator with all the items that were just purchased by Monkey for Bobo. And of course Bobo is asking again where he's gonna stay. But then we cut back to the Bobo's apartment and Mr. Bobo answers the door. He sees that Kittv Bobo has a lot of nice stuff, including a huge TV. And now his dad is clearly happy with Bobo back, even telling him that he's welcome there and then he can have the remote as he goes off to bed. So they say goodnight. You hear the vending machine and the TV. Then you cut back outside again. You see in through the windows, Bobo's watching TV. The Bobo's bedroom window reveals that Mr. and Mrs. Bobo are bouncing up and down on their new waterbed and having a lot of fun. And then we cut to Monkey Carl, his window, and he's doing yoga in his loft. And then we end on the exterior of Bobo's living room where he's snoring. And that's the end.
If you enjoyed the video, be sure to go follow Meg's TikTok channel called Meaghan13. There, she will be posting content about her show Chloe and the Stars. And that is the unreleased second episode of a Kittv Bobo show titled Cribs, putting this piece of Lost Media to rest. Subscribe to the channel for more Lost Media content, and until next time, stay up late productions.